Let's meet the starting lineup for the visiting Miami Heat. At guard, Haywood Highsmith. At forward, Nikola Jovic. At forward, Jamie Hopkins. At guard, Tyler Hero. At center, Bam Adebayo. The head coach of the visiting team is Eric Spoelstra. Let's meet the starters for your San Antonio Spurs. Six-five forward, number 24, Devin Bussett. 6'1" guard, number 33, Trey Jones. 6'5", starting at forward, number 0, Keldon Johnson. 6'8", at forward, number 10, Jeremy Sohan. 7'3", manning the middle, number 1, Victor Wembanyama.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Trick or treat, it's the NBA. We're glad to get spooky with you tonight. I'm Kevin Harlan alongside Greg Anthony and Coach Stan Van Gundy. And joining us from the sidelines is David Aldridge. And they'll have some minutes to make up for with an injury in their roster.
Missing a valued contributor, that can be a challenge. We'll see how they answer the bell.
So with Butler sitting on the bench, this is who Eric Spoelstra has on the floor. In the post, it's Jovic and Adebayo. Then there's Jaime Hopkins. Then it's Tyler Hero. And it's Highsmith in at the 2 guard. And for San Antonio, Sohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell. And it's Johnson in at the 3 spot. Halloween night. Craig, and this game should be a treat.
Yeah, fun holiday makes for a fun atmosphere. Expect this.
Welcome, sports fans. Thank you for joining us. It's the NBA on 2K Sports. Here with Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson. This is Brian Anderson. Joining us from the sidelines, Allie LaForce. Now that we're into November, let's see how the Eastern Conference standings are shaken out. You look at the Bulls, they're slotted in at 9th in the conference, but it's still early in the year.
Checking out the Bulls, they've had that kind of mixed start that we've come to expect. Nothing that would indicate they're in for any kind of special season.
They do look like they're the same kind of team they were last year. Good, but not special.
So let's take a look at the Chicago Bulls starting lineup. White and Levine are out on the wings. Williams and Vucevic are inside. And it's Van Vliet in at the point. And for the Spurs, Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. Serving up some holiday basketball for you fans out there. Happy Thanksgiving Eve, everyone.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving.
So San Antonio ends up going with a new group. Some changes for Chicago. Outside Jones. Pass to Buzelis. Here's Bailey. And Collins with the big block. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Collins. And that shot was going nowhere thanks to that aggressive swat.
You know, you can't ask for any better defense than that. He responded so fast to the shooter, and it stifled him.
And the Spurs making a change here.
Number 7.
And so it's Chicago, a sizable lead of 14 at the break. The hustle they've shown on defense has been tremendous. All right, Allie's ready to go. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Billy Donovan here with us now, and coach, your team finishing the first half in impressive fashion. What's working for you out there?
Yeah, well, I think we got some stops. We played good defense, allowed us to get out in transition. That was helpful. So just got to keep grinding away.
Defense has been their anchor so far. We'll see if they can keep it up, guys.
Allie, as always, thank you. We'll be back right after the break for the third quarter here on 2K Sports.
Attention to center court. And get ready for the fan half-court shot. Drum roll. They're thinking about the shot. One more time, a round of applause for the participants.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the rout that it's threatening to be. Well, you got to like what we're seeing from Kobe White.
You just love his patience offensively in the first half. Waited until he got the looks he wanted.
You love guys who can get their shots within the flow of the offense.
This one belongs to Chicago. This was a hard-fought, well-earned victory for them. They had to dig deep to come out on top.
Yeah, you know, some teams might buckle under the pressure towards the end. The crowd was so amped up, such a hostile environment. But they stood tall and got the win.
Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Thanks so much, Vooch. A balanced attack tonight. How helpful is getting contributions from everyone?
We need that. You know, we're not a team that has, 2 or 3 like superstars that are just going to come in every night and get us 25 a game. So we need, contributions for everybody, and that's why we have to play that way. We have to play for each other, share the ball, try to help each other get going, and that's the only way for us to be good offensively. When we try to create for our own, it never works, and I think we learned from that. So tonight was a good example when we move the ball, when we play for each other, and hopefully we can keep that up.
Sharing was key. Thanks, Nicola.
All right, Allie, thank you. Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Grant Hill, Richard Jefferson, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. And we'll see you next time.
Good evening, everyone. This is the fourth and final group stage game for these teams in the NBA Cup. It should be a great one. Tonight, we'll see the San Antonio Spurs as they play against the Oklahoma City Thunder. This is Kevin Harlan, and by my side, Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. And from the sideline, David Aldridge. And a chance here to check out some stats for Victor Wembanyama.
And guys, his effective field goal percentage is trending in the wrong direction over the past 5 games. Shot discipline hasn't been the best. He'll be looking to play a smarter game tonight.
So here's Oklahoma City's starting group. We've got Williams. Hartenstein is out there with Obi Toppin. Then there's Shea Gilgeous-Alexander. And for the Spurs, Zohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. The Cell in the wing along with Johnson. And it's Jones in at the point guard position. Take a look at the Spurs. They're at home in this one. But even if they win, it's unlikely they'll advance to the next round.
We're sitting here at 1 and 2.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Outside, Gilgeous-Alexander. Pass to Thibault. Here's Ivicic. Good on the triple.
I think the defense has more concerns out there on the floor, and they give them a good open look from the perimeter.
They've got Castle. Barnes out there with Collins. And it's McNeely in at the 3 slot. And that's who's in the game for the Spurs. Here's Baldwin. Gilgeous-Alexander covering. 6 to shoot. Gilgeous-Alexander with the steal. And now, here's Gilgeous-Alexander, the fast break champs. And with an update from the sidelines, let's check in with David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Thunder take it one step at a time. All-star Shea Gilgeous-Alexander says, I think we all stay in the moment, and that's why we've been able to get better. Attack the day, the program in front of us. We all have the right intentions and want to win at the end of the day. Kevin?
Of that attitude growing by leaps and bounds. Thank you, David. And contact on the shot, so he'll be shooting free throws here.
I'll tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for the Spurs.
They haven't been afraid of getting hit on the way up, marching their way to the line and capitalizing.
It feels like the three-point line has opened up really early in this one, too. They've been looking confident from behind the arc, but there's a lot of attempts going up.
And he knocks down the first one. A different look now for San Antonio. Victor Wembanyama comes in. And so it's San Antonio with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. Their strategy has been clear tonight. Work the ball inside, get shots in the paint, and now they are scoring with ease. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks, Kevin. Harrison, an efficient first half of basketball. What's enabled the team to be so effective?
Just move the ball around. This team, they play extremely hard, so, we're not going to be able to get up and down as we usually do, so it's good for us to practice our half-court game.
Yeah, that's been working too. Thanks very much. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
Welcome, everybody.
The young guys are playing well, but it's a long season. There's something called the rookie wall.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see which players hit that wall and which ones knock it over. And let's talk now about that first half. What a commanding start for the Spurs.
Well, you look at all the assisted buckets, I like how they're working together. Ball movement and selfless play can be infectious. Excuse me, are infectious and contagious the same thing?
You're the doctor. And that concludes halftime. Now time to send it over to Kevin Harlan as the game's about to resume.
wasn't too much drama in the first half, but maybe things will tighten up here in the second. We're seeing a tremendous game from Victor Wembanyama.
And those extra chances mean so much. And he has shaped the game with the way he's been pulling down those offensive boards.
And the team appreciating all of that dirty work going on. His activity has been phenomenal.
And with the second half upon us, we'll find out if this game becomes the route that... And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. Boy, were they resilient, ending the group round at 2 wins, 2 losses.
And we'll see if it's enough to advance, though the NBA Cup shows no mercy.
And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Brett Berry, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our 2K Sports crew. So long, everyone.
A shot of the Celtics earlier, coming down the tunnel. They're not messing around. They're ready to get to work here at home. Hello out there, and get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports with Hall of Famers Grant Hill and Doris Burke. This is Brian Anderson, plus our reporter, Allie LaForce. And now a look at the upcoming schedule for the San Antonio Spurs. On Wednesday, they'll go up against the Trailblazers in Portland.
And looking at the Bucks matchup, they'll need to be pretty much perfect for that one. Anything less than that means they're in for a tough evening.
And a look at the starters for the Spurs. Johnson is at the 3 with Sohan down at the 4. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Collins in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for Boston, the core of this team, Brown and Tatum in the front court. Pritchard and White at the 1 and the 2. And it's Porzingis in at the 5. Hey, Doris, at what point in the year are coaching staffs really starting to optimize their rosters?
Well, I think one of the fascinating things is after about 20 games, what teams do analytically is they're going to evaluate what are their best 2-man.
And Boston with some changes. Wallace, he's checked in for White. And Drew Holiday is subbed in for Pritchard. Here's Baldwin. Out to the right wing to end the run. The shot by Sohan, no good.
That's not his spot, but given the lack of defense, you'd like to see him knock that one down.
Tatum against Barnes. And And the bucket counts, and he is on his way to the line. He'll try to make it a three-point play. And let's take a moment to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far. And so it's Boston in a good situation, up by 13 points to close the quarter. And they've got a comfortable lead, in large part due to their three-point shooting. Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
Thanks. I'm here with Coach Popovich. And, Pop, I know you're not happy with the first half. They've taken the fight to you thus far. How do you take it back?
Yeah, they've been the aggressive team. I think we played really soft so far. Really pathetic defensive performance.
Coach, hopefully more toughness from your team in the second half. Thanks.
All right, Allie, thanks for that. We will see everyone right back after this break, ready for the second half.
Welcome to halftime, folks. Before we talk about the game, let's check out who won Player of the Month in both the East and West. Swerving off topic for a moment, I need you guys to weigh in on this. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh, man, it's a hot dog. Cheese, it's right there in the name.
Well, it's got meat, correct?
Right.
It has bread.
Right.
Isn't that what it takes to make a sandwich?
Stuffed between bread?
That's not how it works. Every summer they have a hot dog eating contest, not a sandwich eating contest. They're different.
I really feel sandwiched between two great debaters. And turning back to our first half, things going well, extremely well for the Celtics.
Well, obviously they saw a weakness they wanted to exploit. Ran their guys to the offensive glass with great success, Jack.
Yeah, they also have the personnel to do it. Even when you block these dudes out, they find a way.
That's it for us. Thanks for tuning in. Now let's send you over to Brian Anderson with the third period.
With a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. How about Derek White really making a difference here?
Yeah, I love how effortlessly he scored. The game just comes so easy for him.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do.
So we see the Celtics taking the W here. We saw two different teams tonight. One played with confidence, operating flawlessly. The other just looked lost.
And the energy in this building was awesome. The crowd was involved from the jump, and once they started to really pour it on, it was fun to see how it all came together.
All right, Allie, good stuff there. Thanks for that. And that about...
On the floor for the visiting San Antonio Spurs. At center, Zach Collins. At point guard, Trey Jones. At small forward, Keldon Johnson. At the other guard position, Devin Vassell. At forward, Jeremy Sohan. The head coach of the visiting team is Greg Popovich. Let's meet the starting five for your Portland Trail Blazers. At power forward, at 6'9", number 8, Danny Avdia. At the center position, standing 7'2", number 23, Donovan Clingan. Starting at the other forward position, at 6'7", number 9, Jeremy Grant. At guard, standing 6'5", number 17, Shaden Sharp. Starting at the other guard, at 6'3", number 00, Scoot Henderson.
Thanks for tuning in to the NBA on 2K Sports. It's Wednesday, Hump Day, and we're ready to bring you all the action. With Coach Stan Van Gundy and Greg Anthony, I'm Kevin Harlan. David Aldridge is with us as well. Let's see some of the numbers here for Shaden Sharp.
In the last 5 games, you can see the trend upwards for effective field goal percentage, and it shows you how confident he's playing right now.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Vassell in the wing along with Johnson. Sohan is out there with Zach Collins. And it's Jones in at the point. And for the Trailblazers, the guard pair are Henderson and Sharp. Jeremy Grant is out there with Denny Avdia. And it's Clingan in at the 5. Well, both these teams, of course, Greg, strong and rebounding. Should be a battle out there.
Nothing easy in the paint, Kevin. Both front courts will be fighting for every possession when they miss.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. .26 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Barnes screen on Simons. The kick out to Barnes. Traps in the tray.
Harrison Barnes.
There's 18 seconds left in the first quarter. Simons surveying the D. Oh, that's blocked. Here's Sohan. And so it's the Portland Trailblazers with a 6-point lead at the end of the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best production tonight. Right back after this break. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And let's get your guys' take now on the hustle stats for the Trailblazers.
Well, their defense has been really impressive, especially the number of blocks they've managed to get. It's not easy to keep denying guys at the rim.
And they are also just outworking the opposition in transition. When the break is on, they've...
And that's it for the first half of action. What's been a very close game here. Trailblazers lead by 1. From Portland, we're back in a moment.
48.
Hey everybody, it's Portland Trailblazer basketball on tap in a game that's proven to be a healthy matchup through the first half.
Depth has been the key for them so far. They've gotten a nice spark from their second unit, especially at the offensive end.
And they've needed every bit of that bench production. It's been the difference. And looking at the players of the month, here are the winners from each conference. In the Western Conference, Nikola Jokic.
The talent of the Jokers being recognized. Big achievements for the big man from Serbia. He's one of those players that can win at any time.
Yeah, he's asked to do a lot, I'm telling you, but he ends up doing it, and he gets a lot of triple-doubles, Shaq.
And that'll do it for halftime. We send you back to Kevin Harlan, who has the second half call.
And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. One of the stories here, and Bernie Simons getting it done today.
And the bulk of his damage so far has come from the perimeter. A lot of threes early on.
And defensively, they're giving him too many good looks out there. They need to start running him off the line.
And we're halfway through this one. Plenty of basketball left in a game that's been fairly... And so Portland takes this one, but by a big margin. Some good competition, but the hometown advantage and their ability to stay focused, I think, made the difference.
Yeah, and the first step in becoming a good team is your ability to win at home. And they really seem to revel in that opportunity, and this is what they came out to do.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. So for Stan Van Gundy, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, I'm Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
Up next, the Spurs taking on the Trailblazers. For the Spurs, they've won just 4 games out of their last 10, and they know they can do better. This team has talent, and they'll try to bring it all back together and get things on track with a win. Blazers, Spurs, up next on 2K Sports. Time to start the weekend in style. We welcome you to Friday Night Basketball on 2K Sports. Alongside Richard Jefferson and Grant Hill, I'm Brian Anderson. We'll be joined by Allie LaForce courtside. Now let's check out the Western Conference standings and see how they look here in December. Taking a look at Portland, they're in 10th place, but it's early on, so they have time to recover. And of course the Spurs, half a game behind.
When I look at Portland, they're really doing their best to rise through the rankings. Time will tell whether they can pull it off.
And you have to wonder if this roster can get to that next level. They have talent, but if it doesn't come together, they might have to shake it up.
Here's the starting group for Portland. Scoot and Sharp for the backcourt set. Jeremy Grant out there with Avdia. And it's Klingon in at the 5. And for San Antonio, Johnson is at the 3 with Sohan down at the 4. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Collins in at the 5 down low. And Grant, for each of these teams, wins have been tough. So Portland ends up going with a new group. .43 seconds left in the first. Picked up by Sohan. Baldwin, the pass to Barnes. Here's McNeely. And it's off from three-point range.
No question who's in control of the board so far.
Simons, left side. Can't hit from the elbow.
and he's having an ugly quarter from the field. It seems really frustrated.
Pass to Baldwin. And here's Sohan. Outside Barnes. Here's Baldwin. He's covered by Simons. Baldwin's shot is off. So as we end the first quarter, already a double-digit ball game. It's the Spurs. They lead by 13. Don't go away. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. All right, guys, what do you think so far about the offensive approach for San Antonio?
This game has been all about tenacity for them, getting right in.
And a pretty tightly contested game here as we end the first half. Spurs out in front. They're up by 5. Well, now we have some time to check in with Allie LaForce. Allie.
I'm here with Coach Greg Popovich. And, Coach, you look at the offensive execution for this team. What are you seeing?
I think they've done a pretty good job in moving the basketball, keeping up the pace, because we've been playing in mud a little bit lately, but the pace has been pretty good.
Hopefully that pace continues in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks very much, Allie. We'll be back soon to start the second half of basketball.
Good evening, everybody. Can you guess what we're starting the show with? Wow, you guys are good. Time for the power rankings. Guys, I heard that some of our production crew has been ranking us behind our backs.
I gotta be number one. I'm by far the easiest to work with. I'm drama-free.
No way, it has to be me, because I got the biggest heart. Y'all love me, right? Say it.
Let's just forget I even brought it up. And returning our attention to this game, a solid first half for the San Antonio Spurs.
With how this offense has performed, they should be up even more. Well-balanced attack.
Yeah, it's hard for a defense to take things away when you do a bunch of things well.
Glad you could join us. Ryan Anderson and crew are ready to take it away for the start of the third quarter.
And if you're just joining us, we've played through the first half in a game that's been fairly even so far. Now you look at Keldon Johnson. He's really been playing well.
Through the first 2 quarters, he's been on fire. Explosive offensive performance.
If they don't change their approach in the second half, let's just say his success will continue.
And as we get into this third quarter, as we've seen so far, neither team able to... And so it's San Antonio with the W. Even early on in this game, they appeared happy to be playing at home.
And it makes a huge difference. Once they started to get into a groove, you never really felt like they wouldn't come out on top.
Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Richard Jefferson, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for being with us. We'll see you later.
And the players getting themselves into game mode with the tip-off just moments away. Welcome to 2K Sports. We have the NBA coming up. Great to have you with us. This is Kevin Harlan alongside Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. DA will join us tonight on the sideline. Let's see some of the numbers here for Damian Lillard.
And the one thing that he'll be looking to change is the downturn in his three-point percentage. It's taken a hit here the last 10 games. I know he's putting in extra work to get that rhythm back.
Here are the starters for Milwaukee. The post pair, the longtime duo of Antetokounmpo and Lopez. Jackson is out there with Damian Lillard. And it's Middleton in at the 3 slot. And for the Spurs, the forwards for him, Johnson and Sohan. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell. And it's Collins in at the 5 down low. How does the development, Greg, of role players affect the team?
It can be a major factor. Being able to fill the needs of a team. That's what it's all about. A shot here, a block there.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. Here's Baldwin. 1:44 left to play here in the first. The 3. Lillard with the rebound.
Just doing the job on the backboard.
They sure are. I mean, they've done a terrific job carving out space under the basket and then pursuing the ball. You know, it's one thing to box out, but you've got to pursue the ball if you're going to get rebounds. And they look strong here in the early going.
Hits it from three-point range.
Oh, this is the kind of start they were hoping for.
Yeah, shots falling, off to a very good start offensively as a result.
Here's Baldwin, covered by Lillard. Spurs passing it around. Here's Baldwin. And foul on the shot, so he'll get a chance at the line. Now, Greg, it took 40 years, but the Bucks finally won their second NBA title back in 2021.
Yeah, Kareem leading that 71 squad. Giannis was the man in 2021, averaging 35 and 13 during the finals, closing out the Suns with that 50-piece in Game 6.
And the Spurs making a change here. Branham's checked in. 59 seconds left in the first. Pass to Beauchamp. Kicks it out to Lillard. Shot clock at 6. For the 3. Rebound San Antonio. Fresh from a win against Portland.
Yeah, and that one, they just locked it down defensively. Challenged shots and really protected the rim.
Boy, I tell you what, I think you got to really appreciate the grit. Getting dirty, staying engaged. That's really what defense is all about.
Branham, the pass to Baldwin. Again, the miss by the Spurs. Pass to Lillard. And he was able to put it up in time, but doesn't fall. Chris Middleton has been on display for the Bucks. And it was from three-point range where he did the most damage. He knocked down 3 in that quarter. We'll get you back to the action after this break. And if you're just tuning in, we've got a wide margin on the scoreboard, but plenty of time left for a comeback. And what stands out to you from the Bucks in this one?
Coming in hot. They were sharp from the perimeter right out the gate.
Well, the player and ball movement has been excellent. Finding space, operating in space, and when they've gotten open shots, they've knocked them down.
So that'll be it for the first half. Fairly even battle underway in this one. Bucks lead by 3. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks very much with Doc Rivers. This team has come out strong in the first half. What's working out there?
I think we've been really active defensively. Again, our transition. Another thing, we're just passing the ball. Like we're passing the ball to the open man. And when we do that, we're really good.
Good flow so far. We'll see if it continues. Thanks. Back to you guys.
Thank you, David. And we'll be back after halftime as the third quarter gets underway.
Thanks for joining us. We've got the Milwaukee Bucks in a tight ball game at the end of the half.
I like how they've been hitting the boards, man. Playing real hard. That's great sign for the second half.
Yeah, but the score is close. And if they want to pull away, you got to do more than rebound.
And now here's something that's always interesting. Let's see what the fans are up to on social media. All right, guys, a question from Jenny Bankshot. What's your favorite mode in 2K?
The halftime show, of course. What else is there even to play?
I'm in full agreement, Kenny. Obviously, lots of laughs, good-looking guys, and insightful analysis.
And we give you all of the above. Way better than any movie you could ever watch on television.
Thanks for joining us. Now let's toss it to Kevin Harlan for the start of the second half.
And we've got second half action for you. Thus far, a pretty evenly contested game. You look at Antetokounmpo, and this game has been everywhere.
And he's shown just how adept he can be at creating contact and then cashing in at the line.
Well, you know, in that first half, it was a common occurrence. He got to the stripe time and time.
And so it's the Spurs with the win. Probably a little closer than they would have liked it, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, but I really got the sense that the fans gave them that emotional boost that was needed down the stretch. This crowd, man, they were electric.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching this presentation of the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you later.
Hi, and thanks for joining us on 2K Sports NBA action. It's coming up. This is Brian Anderson. Coach Dan Van Gundy, Hall of Famer Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce round out our broadcast crew for this one. Now a moment to take a look at the year-to-year scoring output and how it's been trending for Nikola Vucevic.
And the scoring trend over the last few years has been going down a bit. That's not what you want, and I'm sure it's something he's well aware of.
Now the starting group for San Antonio. Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Johnson in at the 3 spot. And for the Bulls, Levine and Williams are the 2 forwards. Kobe White out there with Fred VanVleet. And it's Vucevic in at the 5. Well, Stan, the NBA Cup has been a roaring success. How do you see it evolve through the years now?
Well, I don't know exactly how it will evolve, but I thought it was a great move by the NBA to give players something to play for.
So both teams changing it up here. Outside Jones. Pass to Buzelis. Williams with the screen. Here's Buzelis. Right now contributing around 10.5 points a game. Just 5 on the clock. And the shot's good. Jones has got 5 now.
And even though it wasn't a great screen, he found a way to create some space.
Here's Baldwin. Collins with a screen on Jones. Here's Baldwin. Oh, nice finish from the low block. That one's good.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from that.
Kobe White, he's feeling it tonight. And he's been the driving force for Chicago. Hitting 3 trays in the quarter, providing some sharp shooting. And more NBA action on 2K Sports. Coming your way right after this. And this has been a fairly close game through the first quarter. We'll see what happens here in the second. And let's take a moment here to get your take, guys, on the scoring so far for the Bulls.
Well, the coaching staff's game plan is very clear. Move the ball on the perimeter and shoot the shots with no hesitation.
And they've done a tremendous job just creating havoc defensively. Active
And so we wrap up the first half. San Antonio on top. They lead by 7. All right, Allie's ready to go. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Thanks. I'm here with Spurs head coach Greg Popovich. Coach, how do you get this team playing so efficiently at the offensive end?
I beg my butt off constantly. It's embarrassing.
At least the begging's paying off, though. Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Okay, Allie, appreciate it. And, folks, we'll be back after halftime to begin the third quarter.
Howdy, folks. The moment you've been waiting for is here. Before we recap the first half, let's see what the standings look like in the East. Hey, fellows, I'm just wondering your thoughts on how these teams stack up.
Well, I'm a big fan of stacking things. Title rings, onion rings, cash rings, ring
One
cameras.
of these things is not like the others.
I agree. Onion rings are the only thing that satisfy my shaker type. Hey, you got any onion rings in the back?
Somehow it always comes back to food. All right, getting back to this game now and the sensational play from Victor Wembanyama.
So it's not about how many shots you take, it's about how many you make. And he's been making the most of every opportunity.
Yeah, when you got somebody cooking like that, you just sit back and watch the show. And that's a wrap on halftime. Thanks for watching as we send you back to BA to call the second half.
Well, for those just tuning in, thanks for being with us. Second half of this game still to play. Oh, we're seeing a tremendous game from Fred VanVleet.
The numbers say it all. He spent the first half playing efficient ball.
Yeah, it's not like he's getting everything at the rim. He's playing smart and just taking what the defense gives him.
And we hope you've enjoyed the broadcast thus far. We're halfway through the game. So we see the Spurs taking the W here. It ends up being a fairly easy road win.
Those are so hard to come by. It's never easy to take a game in someone else's building.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Stan Van Gundy, Grant Hill, and Allie LaForce, this is Brian Anderson. We hope you enjoyed our broadcast. We'll see you next time.
Welcome, everyone, to a great Sunday night with the NBA here on 2K Sports. Alongside Doris Burke and Greg Anthony, this is Kevin Harlan. And on the sidelines, Hall of Famer David Aldridge. All right, a chance to check out stats for him.
And you can see the surge in his level of confidence lately just by looking at that true shooting percentage. It's been moving straight up in the past 5 games. I think he's feeling that.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup, they've got Harper. Lauri Markkanen is out there with Walker Kessler. Then it's Harden, and it's Juzang in at the 3. And for the Spurs, Zohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. The Cell in the wing along with Johnson. And it's Jones in at the point guard. And you think about the future of this great league, certainly, Greg, some terrific young talent on display here tonight.
Yeah, and Kevin, who's got next? I mean, some gifted players here answering in the affirmative.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. A different look for Utah. Here's Baldwin. No good on the quick 3.
And you don't want to give up that kind of look too often.
And so in the game for the Jazz, we've got George. Also Collier out there. Filipowski's out there with Colin Sexton. And Hendricks in at the 4 spot. Now, here's George. He had 15 points last outing. 3 on the clock. Puts up a deep 3. And it's Collier missing. Looking at the last game for San Antonio, it was a win against the Bulls. There's a screen by Collins. Back to Barnes. There's the triple. This one for 3. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
Well, with that deep stroke, I like Barnes' ability to switch between the 3 and 4 spots. 2 distinct things in terms of spacing on the floor and the requirements of the jobs.
Here's Hendricks. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Baldwin kicks to Collins. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts. And an important part of every team's game, a look at the hustle stats for San Antonio.
I mean, they've come out aggressive defensively, getting into them and coming up with some cookies along the way.
And the other thing that's working for them tonight, getting out into the open floor. A lot of the damage coming in transition.
And let's head over to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. The game is certainly going international. Commissioner Adam Silver says, with basketball's exponential growth, it's now truly a global game. We're fortunate that the very best in the world want to play in the single league. And Kevin, the NBA continues to draw talent from all corners of the globe.
And David, you've been all over the globe, and the talent level undeniable. Here's Collier after the basket by San Antonio. Outside, Sexton. Pass to Collier. George, that's a 2-pointer. It's rebounded by Baldwin.
All by himself, trying to step up. He's got to be frustrated with the miss.
You know, when you talk about this Jazz team, Doris, you have to mention head coach Will Hardy.
You certainly do, Kevin, because remember, he came from the Boston Celtics organization. He also had a history in San Antonio. He is known as an excellent tactician. He does an incredible job scouting. Utah always one of the best prepared teams in the league.
Here's Filipowski following the 3-pointer by San Antonio. Outside, George. Nailed from 3-point land. George has got his 3rd basket of the night.
Well, after a less than stellar start in the first quarter, you like to see that shot go down.
And we've got a timeout from Greg Popovich. He wants to talk to his guy. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Wembanyama, he's checked. And so it's Victor Wembanyama making things happen for the Spurs. He finishes with 9 points in the quarter. The D is having all sorts of problems with them. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, Kevin. Harrison, a strong first half for you guys defensively. What has worked at that end?
We're trying to be active. You know, this is a very good team. They've been shooting the ball really well from 3, so we're just trying to run them off the line.
So far, so good. Thanks for your time. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David, for that interview, and we'll see you back here after the break for 3rd quarter basketball.
And hello, everybody. What an amazing first half performance it's been for the San Antonio Spurs.
A key part of this one, their bench production. Those guys can heat it up in a hurry. Give the starters a little rest. Can't ask for more than that.
Wash, rinse, repeat. You guys wouldn't understand that because it involves shampooing. And there's more NBA action in store for us tonight. Here are the games tipping off later. The Bulls will square off against the Raptors in Toronto. Tip-off will be 7 o'clock Eastern.
I'm looking for a possible upset in that one.
That is more than enough of us. Let's send you back to the game. Kevin Harlan and crew with the second half.
And as we dive into the second half, we'll find out if the next two quarters are any different from the first two. So far, it has been a runaway. We're seeing a tremendous game from Victor Wembanyama.
The way he was able to finish on the block was incredible there in that first half.
It felt like his work on the interior really gave this offense a boost. Let's see if he can dominate the rest of the way.
Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback. Castle is out there with Baldwin. Then it's Collins. Then it's Barnes. That's the San Antonio 5. Harden the pass to Markkanen. Back to Harden. And it's blocked. Pass to Baldwin. Of course, we're in the world now of super agency, which consolidate player representation.
Kev, I think obviously it gives some more power to the players because of the bargaining leverage. But for player movement, does it give more power to the big market teams? We're going to have to watch this unfold.
The first one falls.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
The Spurs making a switch here. Thomas is checked in. That misses, so he splits the free throws. BB, one thing about Kessler, he will challenge anybody at the rim. Wow.
There's no question, Kevin. Walker Kessler is one of those guys who's not afraid to get dunked on. He is a rim protector of the highest order. He's going to win some, he's going to lose some, but he's always going to try to do his job. Boy, he's got so much length that under duress, still able to finish. Go ahead, Lauri Markkanen.
Barnes screen on Harden. Baldwin kicks to Barnes. It's good from long range. Barnes has got 5 points now in the quarter.
Well, that's his second three of the game. One in the first half, one here.
Markkanen from outside. Rebounded by the Spurs. Pass to Barnes. And so often we'll hear talk about how many rings a great player has. Doris, do we emphasize that maybe too much?
I think, Kevin, first and foremost, a great player is great no matter what. This is a team sport, and a player doesn't have control necessarily of the parts and pieces behind him or the organization within which he's trying to succeed. Titles matter, certainly, there's no question, and it's great fodder for fans, but it's not how I define a great player.
Out to the right wing. Barnes screen on Harden. Pass to Castle. Spurs working the ball around now.
Utah foul. Juzang. Fourth personal foul.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for San Antonio?
They've been playing some really physical offense, just attacking the paint as much as possible. And I tell you what, they have been very successful with that strategy.
They've also been scoring on the break. With how difficult it is to get buckets in the half court, anytime you can push the ball in transition for easy ones, that's big time.
And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
And you really have to like what they're doing at the line in this half. Free throw percentage now up around 92%.
They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Now, here's Harper. Not a lot of room. Harden has a wide open look. That falls. Nice feed that time from Harper. Harden's got 6 here in this quarter.
And now he's starting to get it going. 4 3-pointers in the game for him, and 3 have come in this half.
Thomas a screen. Baldwin kicks to Thomas, and out of bounds as Utah gains possession.
Well, when you're careless with the basketball, you can expect that to happen.
San Antonio making a switch here. Random's checked in. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. And the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish it.
And now let's go over to David Aldridge from the sideline for an interview with our player of the game. Hey, David.
Thanks very much, Zach. Great game for you tonight. When you get out there, what are you looking to do to influence the game?
You just got to be aggressive. Coach is giving me an opportunity to come in and play a decent amount of minutes, so I just try to make an impact in any way I can and keep giving him a reason to put me on the floor and help the team win.
Well, you were a big part of it tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
Thank you for that, David. And that about wraps it up. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for tuning in. And we'll see you next time.
Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
To hear Skylar Cole singing the national anthem before today's contest.
This for my city, this for the top, this for the win, this for the crown, this for the crown.
A festive atmosphere inside the building as we bring you Friday Night Basketball on 2K Sports. This is Brian Anderson, joined by Grant Hill and Richard Jefferson. Allie LaForce will be our reporter from the sideline. Now let's check out the Western Conference standings and see how they look here in December. You look at the Spurs. Here in the early going, they're in 8th place.
Well, right now for the Spurs, they're really doing their best to rise through the rankings. Time will tell whether they can pull it off.
And you have to wonder if this roster can get to that next level. They have talent, but if it doesn't come together, they might have to shake it up.
And a look at the starters for Charlotte. Ball and Miller pair up as the backcourt. Jonathan Kuminga is out there with Miles Bridges. And it's Williams in at the 5, roaming the paint. And for the Spurs, Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Vassell and Johnson are the 2 and the 3. And it's Jones in at the 1. And in the second game of a back-to-back, how much does that affect a player's energy level?
Well, the better conditioned you are, the less.
So San Antonio ends up going with a new group. Here's Mann. Last game he had 34 points. On the floor for Charlotte, Trey Mann out there with LaMelo Ball. Then it's Miles Bridges. Then it's Williams. And it's Salon in at the power forward position.
That's what you call playing big. He just stays committed to the attack mode.
Also relying on his skill there. That's a nice move against length.
Pass to Baldwin. Collins with a screen on Williams. There's the drive. Collins, the open look. And it's good. Off the back of the rim and in. Collins has gotten his first basket of the night.
Nice ball movement there. Delivered the pass right on time.
For three, Bridges. And that one's good. That makes him 2 for 3.
Pick works well there, but the defense left a lot to be desired.
Yeah, that just comes down to a lack of effort. The defender has to do a better job fighting through the screen.
Here's Baldwin. The rebound by Bridges.
They've had a slight leg up on the boards and a big leg up on the scoreboard.
And given LaMelo Ball is 6'7", how does this give him an advantage in his position, Greg?
Well, B.A., he's able to score on smaller guards as well as see over them and find his teammates. His height and quick decision-making are real weapons.
The first free throw is good. Okay, RJ, we all know how luck comes into play. And so it's the Charlotte Hornets finishing the quarter with an 8-point lead. And it's all due to their ability to own the paint. They've been dominant down low. More 2K action in just a moment.
Big Diesel, Kenny the Jet, Ernie Johnson here. But before we dive into the scintillating analysis of the first half, let's check out the power rankings.
Taking a look here now at the Hornets, I mean, they've established themselves as a competitive team. They feel that they can get a win against any opponent there, Shaq.
Well, I don't know if they have the roster makeup to get to the finals or even conference finals. But on any given night, this team is dangerous.
I don't know, Shaq. They look good.
Turning back now to our game, lots of positives in that first half for the Charlotte Hornets.
I mean, when you go inside and impose your will this way, you're delivering a gut punch.
Yeah, there's a whole other half to go, but the way they're winning this makes them the heavy favorite now. Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And we played through the first half. Plenty of basketball left in this one. You look at LaMelo Ball in this game. He's been everywhere.
They've leaned on him to provide a lot of offense, and that's how he likes it.
He always wants to be a go-to guy for them. I'm sure he'll be calling for the ball even more in this half.
And so Charlotte takes this one by a big margin. Boy, a nice win on the road. By the time this one was winding down, this building was stone cold silent.
And that's exactly what you got to do. You have to try to take the crowd out of it.
And that about wraps it up. For Allie LaForce, Grant Hill, and Richard Jefferson, this is Brian Anderson, thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. So long, everybody.
And a look behind the curtain here. Final preparations for the challenge ahead. Hoping to come out of the gates strong. Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Brent Barry. From the sideline, we'll have David Aldridge. We'll be hearing from him in just a moment. And a moment now to look at how the Rookie of the Year race is shaping up as we close out the year. Still lots of games left. Here are the rookies off and running in the early going. He's a ways down the ladder if the award was given out today, but there's still time in this season for him.
And what an influx of young talent that it's coming to the league this year. No question, this group is ready for life in the NBA. The competition for the Rookie of the Year award is going to be intense.
Every time you talk to a rookie, the first thing they talk about is that the pro game is a lot faster than they anticipated, more physical. But I'm surprised at the NBA readiness of some of these guys.
And the starting group for the Spurs. Zohan is the 4 with the lengthy Wembanyama playing the 5. The guard pair are Jones and Vassell. And it's Johnson in at small forward. And the Warriors with a completely new 5 on the floor. A different look now for San Antonio. So, Brent, at this point of the season, do teams still have time to figure things out?
I think there's always time, Kevin, to figure out where you are. Again, the expectations in the early part of the season about how competitive your team was going to be, That's critical in your decision making as to what you want to do with the roster. But if you think that you can get into a deep playoff run, you've got to be honest about how these parts are fitting in and whether or not you need a change.
So with Curry sitting on the bench, here's the group that Steve Kerr has on the floor. Podziemski out there with Bryant. Then there's Moody. Then it's DeAnthony Melton. And it's Santos in at the 5 down low.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, both of them looking towards the three-point line. And I like to see that, especially when the results are made buckets.
Shoots from 14, and he knocks down the jumper. Warriors trail by 3. Bryant outside. Golden State moving it around. Podziemski finds Melton. No good. That would have tied it. The Spurs have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Pass to Baldwin. Barnes screen on Melton. Here's Castle. Shot clock at 5. And he tries off the glass, but it's no good. Looking at the last game for the Golden State Warriors, it was a win against Sacramento. Moody's shot is off. Spurs leading by 3. Here's Baldwin. Hasn't made one yet. Down low. Here's McNeely. He's defended by Podziemski. Here's Collins. The Warriors pull it in.
Not a bad shot from the mid-range. The D's giving it to him, and he's usually got an eye in that kind of range.
San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. McNeely. Rob. Here's Bryant. And that one, good. It's a neck-and-neck game in San Francisco. In this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
And you know, last year, not a huge talent discrepancy between these teams, but they still managed to win every game in the season series.
Barnes screen on Melton. Just 5 on the clock. 3-pointer. Podziemski grabs the board. For the Warriors, they won their last contest, that game against the Kings in Sacramento.
Yeah, you could see they were pressing in that one, and the shooting percentages dipped because of it.
Yeah, I'll say anytime you're having trouble getting over that 40% field goal mark, it's probably not going to be your night.
Baldwin the pass to Collins. Here's Castle. Again, the miss by the Spurs. The Warriors have gone 8 of 14 in the second quarter on field goal attempts. Pass to Baldwin. Collins with it. Bryant defending. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Collins, a great high-energy player, and that's something coaches really appreciate, that players are going to come in and give them that kind of effort on a nightly basis.
And he makes the first. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. And so it's Andrew Wiggins making highlights for the Golden State Warriors. What a quarter that saw them generate a great comeback effort and are now out in front with momentum behind them. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much, Steve. Some great engagement defensively. What's happening that's good at that end of the floor?
I think they're just playing hard, rotating, playing for each other, and we've done a better job of avoiding fouls and just playing through.
Steve, thanks for your time. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow, right here on 2K Sports.
And as we welcome you to halftime, no other way to say it, an abysmal start for the San Antonio Spurs.
It's not a huge deficit on the boards, but enough to where they're giving away possessions, and that adds up, guys.
Yeah, if they're playing a comeback.
And let's turn our attention now to the Rookie of the Year race.
Acclimating to the league is not that easy. These guys are already accepting the challenges and the rigors of the NBA, and they're crushing it. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I'm curious to see which rookie might take even another step and separate himself from the pack. And that is it for halftime, folks. It is back to Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
And we've got third quarter of basketball for you. 2 quarters in the books. Andrew Wiggins really making a difference here.
Well, we'll find out if they were able to find an answer for him over the break. He was scoring with ease in that first half.
Yeah, just way too easy out there, and I'm sure coach is going to make that a priority at halftime.
So we see the Warriors taking the game here. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. I think they built off that edge of being here and playing with just a little more confidence than their opponent.
And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks very much. Draymond, one of the cliches of basketball is that the ball finds energy. When teammates are making shots, does that give you more energy?
Yeah, it does. When we're in the flow, the ball's just moving around. It allows me to play make, and then I just try to find an open gap and take the shots where they are.
Man, it was really flowing tonight, man. Congrats on the win. Back to you.
All right, David, thanks so much. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Brett Barry, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. We'll see you next time. Have a great evening.
Happy holidays, everyone, from all of us at 2K Sports. Thanks for joining us at this most special time of the year. This is Brian Anderson with Grant Hill and Stan Van Gundy. And out on the sidelines is Allie LaForce. Now we get a chance to check some stats for Victor Wembanyama.
And his effective field goal percentage isn't in the best place right now. Over the last 5 games, he hasn't had much shot discipline. He'll be looking to play a lot smarter today.
Now the opening lineup for the Los Angeles Clippers. Dennis Schroeder is out there with Norman Powell. Then there's Ivica Zubac. Then it's Julius Randle. And it's Sensabaugh in at the 3. And for San Antonio, Sohan and Wemby are the bigs. Jones and Vassell are the 1 and the 2. And it's Johnson in at the 3. Well, Grant, this is not your average regular season game. These teams are fierce rivals.
Oh, yes, they are, B.A. I love playing in these type of games. I mean, the fans are extra loud. The players are fired up. This will be fun.
And it's going to be the Spurs off the tip. So San Antonio ends up going with a new group. And just over 3.5 minutes played here in the second quarter. Barnes with a screen on Williams. Baldwin, the pass to Collins. Here's Baldwin. To the wing, right side. Just 5 to shoot. Castle for 3. Again gets it to go. He can't miss. 5 for 5.
Yeah, that's his second made 3 of the quarter. Third of the game so far.
We've got Zach Collins. Castle is out there with Barnes. And it's Baldwin in at the point guard. That's the San Antonio 5. Really left him alone that time. Man's got 7 now in this quarter.
Rock solid screen right there. The defender got completely lost.
Yeah, you've got to lock and trail hard. You can't allow him a clean look from there.
Baldwin's shot is off. The Clippers have gotten over 50% of their shots to go. 5 for 9 in the second.
That was a good call. The defense wasn't established.
And San Antonio making a change here. Branham's checked in. And a switch here also for the Clippers. And so it's San Antonio closing out this quarter with a 7-point lead. Their key to consistency has been their dominance in the paint. They've been the more physical team. Back to the game after this break.
Welcome to halftime. First order of business, catching up on the injuries around the league. When you guys had to sit out with an injury, how did it affect your attitude?
It was terrible. It's hard to stay positive when you can't do anything to help your teammates.
I don't know. I bet your teammates like having a little Shaq break.
Not if they wanted wins.
And turning our attention to the first half, a positive start for the Spurs.
Obviously, they've been locked in from range. Your confidence grows as each shot goes in. It becomes contagious.
Yeah, in the second half, though, they got to mix it up a little more because those who live by the three, you know the rest.
Appreciate you joining us. It's been our distinct pleasure, and I mean that. Let's now take you back over to the third quarter with Brian Anderson.
And we've got third quarter basketball here. 2 quarters in the books. Terrence, man, really making a difference here.
I like how they control the tempo and play to his strengths.
Yeah, he's found his spots, been patient with his shot selection, and it's paid off for himself and the team.
So it's the Clippers winning this one easily. Exceptional effort on the road. They were ready and they were focused.
Focused indeed. I mean, it takes a strong mental approach to block out the distractions. These guys stepped up 100%.
Well, now a minute to check in with Allie LaForce. She's courtside. Hey, Allie.
Julius, it wasn't always smooth sailing tonight, but you guys got it done. How did you feel about the level of play coming down the stretch?
Absolutely amazing. You know, there's ups and downs of the season, but, you know, one thing is we're going to play hard every night and give ourselves a chance. So we did that for most of the night, but, you know, we did an amazing job staying together.
The effort certainly was not lacking tonight. Thanks, Julius.
Allie, thank you as always. And that'll do it, folks. For Grant Hill, Allie LaForce, and Coach Stan Van Gundy, this is Brian Anderson. Thank you for watching the NBA on 2K Sports. We'll see you next time.
you